Hi, I'm Denise, and today is April 1st, 2017, and I'm redoing a video that I took the other day. I just wanted to thank David Mayo for all of his suggestions. Absolutely correct. Anyway, please check out the Daily Blooms by David Mayo. He has marvelous orchids. Some of the other videos that I enjoy are Miss Orchid Girl, My Green Pets, My Orchid Adventure, and especially Roger Frampton. There's just something about him that I truly love. So, those are just a few of who I watch on a regular basis. This is one of my Phalaenopsis, one of my many Phalaenopsis. I don't remember where I got it from, where I bought it. It is both a mother and a keiki, and right now the keiki is the one in spike, and there's no signs of a spike on the mother plant. It's very hard to see. The mother plant is on the top. But anyway, it began forming its spike in mid-December 2016, and the first buds began to open the end of February 2017. And I did name this one Vanilla Intrigue. This little beauty is an Encyclia Bracteosans Belize. I got this from Andy's Orchids, Orchids on a Stick, in September 2016. I had to remove a lot of the Spanish moss that was surrounding the root system and behind it. My conditions are pretty humid, and it was causing some bulbs to get mushy. Unfortunately, I nicked a growing new bud in the process. I'm hoping it will put out newer buds. The flowers are delightful. I don't think they're fragrant. The spike began to form just a few weeks ago, and the first bud opened up about 20 days ago, so they seem to be a little long-lasting. I haven't named this one yet. I'm still thinking about what to call her. This is my Dendrobium Back T. Not sure where I got it from, to be honest with you. I ordered two at the same time from two different vendors and was very bad about taking notes at that time. I'm doing much better about that. Let me give you a top shot here. I let this one go into dormancy. I'm thinking somewhere around November. It put out new spikes, so I quit doing the dormancy thing on it. Not new spikes, I'm sorry. New canes. So when they began to look dehydrated, I decided, I need to change that. So I did. The flowers began to form around a month ago, and they burst open in mid-March 2017. So this one I call Dancing Flamingo. It's a lot pinker than what you're seeing right now. There we go. That's a much better shot of the color. Ignore the junk in the background. Anyway, that's much better color of what it really looks like. And so that's that one. This is my Phalaenopsis type Dendrobium. Very nice. That's pretty close to its real color. He's one of my bigger ones. And let me pan around here a little bit. He is pretty good size. He's got some issues, always has had issues with spider mites and ants getting into the pot, but he's done well. I don't recall when I purchased him. It was one of the very first non-Phalaenopsis type orchids that I did buy several years ago. He's been through a lot, like I said, and he continues to struggle. Ants are gone, haven't come back for about a year, and probably won't. But spider mites are still an issue like it is with dendrobiums. He has bloomed consistently since I've had him. This bloom, I don't know, began opening at the end of February, still hanging in there very nicely. And the prior spike was on, of course, another cane, and it put out 2 spikes. Those 2 didn't last long. This is one that I have decided to call Green Envy. Here's my Encyclia Tamponensis, if I'm saying that right. It's also known as the Florida butterfly orchid. My sister has one that is up in her trees in the wild. They're very nice. They're very beautiful. I understand they're not supposed to bloom till June, and this is March 2017. I received this from Andy's Orchids at the beginning of December 2016, and she began putting on her spikes, I would say, early February. The buds began swelling up in mid-March and began opening in a few days. And I haven't decided what to call her yet. My Huera Lava Burst Punani. This one I got from Kawamoto Orchids, I think in early 2016. It's an awarded AOS plant, which received an award of merit. She began spiking and budding out at the end of May in 2016, and this is the 4th spike in my care. This one is has some very sad history behind it, because it began bursting its buds open, the very first spikes, during the massacre at Pulse, Orlando. So, in honor of all the victims of Pulse, Orlando, and all those who were injured, that's what I call her, Pulse, Orlando. This is my Catasetum Double Down. It's from Fred Clark, and it's a cross between Chuck Taylor Wow and Catasetum Kleberianum. Anyway, it's quite different, very different. And I got it at the end of July 2016, and I put it into dormancy early November 2016, and began putting out a new growth. I still kept it dry, and I put out the new growth at the end of November, so wasn't staying dormant for very long, but I let it remain dry until mid-December, when I had no choice but to bring it out of dormancy. And I did do it slowly. As my friend Nancy Klein said, this one forgot to read the book. The new growth began putting out a spike in mid-February, so now, the end of March, I have blooms. I haven't decided what to name it yet either. This is my Dendrobium Microchip. It's from Marlowe's. He has wonderful plants, by the way. I really love his stuff. It's not quite this green. So, anyway, but it is absolutely gorgeous. Maybe if I pan back. No, panning back it was just now terrible. This one I got from him because I had to replace the one that I got from somebody who I will not name. I call them the horrible supplier. They're up in Washington, the state of Washington, and pretty much everything I got died within 2 days. So anyway, this is its replacement. There are new blooms that developed under my care. It came in bloom. Very nice plant. These ones were formed under my care and began putting on buds early in February 2017 and began breaking open about a week later, and took them a while to fully open, but here they are. And this one I do call White Wine Splash. This is my Tolumnia Cocoa Drop. This one I got from Accent Orchids. Thanks, Brett and Ruth, for growing such wonderful plants. I got it in February, and it was in spike. As you can see, there's the old spike. A new spike developed, and so there we go. I know it's on its last leg out. This spike opened, I don't know, just a few weeks ago. It's, it's fading very, very fast, but it went from a daytime high of 75 to a daytime high in the 90s in less than 3 days, so I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. Plus, it had to adjust to transport and things like that, although he's not that far away, so I think he did well. A lot of people say that Tolumnias are hard to grow. Maybe that's true, but I'm not finding it to be true. What Roger Frampton said is what I followed, and that was, or what I'm following for now anyway. He said they like to grow on things, not in things. So keeping them on top and they like to dry out. So I missed them maybe every second or third day, a little bit on the roots is all. This one I do have a name for. I called it Yellow Skirted Dancer. I know you can't see the yellow because he's fading quickly, but that's what I called her. This is my Dendrobium Supermodel Platinum. It's a cross between Dendrobium, Cassiope, and Dendrobium Sweet Pinky. I received this one in mid-February from Accent Orchids. Thank you again, Brett and Ruth. It was in bud and bloom, and a few short weeks later, 3 buds began to form again near the top, and that's what you're looking at right now. So here's one. Very nice. And there's the other one, and the other one's in the back. Ignore the junk in the background. I think we all have junk everywhere. Anyway, when these 3 burst open, I called this one Pastel Angel. And last but not least, my Epidendrum Green Hornet. This came from Sylvie's Orchids beginning in March 2017, and She was in bloom. You can see her blooms. A lot of them. A lot of them were on there. A lot of people had bad things to say about Sylvie's orchids. Hell, I'm here to tell you, I don't have anything bad to say about her orchids. I really don't. She had 3 spikes, and they're there. 1, 2, 3. And all of them now, just not even a month later, are putting on their sequential blooms, which they can do, but they don't have to. It's not necessarily what happens with them. So there's that one on that spike, and that one on the spike that's curving back this way. Sorry, bad job. And well, it doesn't look like the third spike's getting one, but I think that's pretty darn good since they are not necessarily a sequential bloomer. So give Sylvie's orchids a try. I love all my orchid suppliers except for the one from Washington, from the state of Washington. That's the only one. I named this guy, when it went into its sequential blooming, I named it Cassidy Quinn Howe, after Tracy and John's baby that was born March 8th, 2017. Okay, that's all I have for today. None of these were April Fool's jokes. I know it's April 1st. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you come back to watch. Bye.